Well, welcome to week 6, wonderful summer students. We are more than halfway through. And so now what we're doing this week is we're just concentrating on writing, okay? Last week, you finished up, or actually started writing your analysis essay. You created your planner, you practiced with the discussion board, and then you started with your draft of the language section, right? So you should have 2 paragraphs of your essay all set and ready to go. That's awesome. Now, the other part that we're going to be doing this week is essentially we're going to be learning how to take comments from your teacher and how to apply them to your writing to make your writing that much stronger. So as you know, we go through the writing process in this class, right? So we start with our little planner, then we use our planner in order to write. We look at the feedback, we revise it according to the feedback and according to our samples and our directions, pardon me. And then we turn in our final essay. So we go through that process over and over again throughout this course. We're really doing that literally this time as we go into our first assignment. So let's take a look at what you're going to be learning this week so that you can use that in order to move forward. Okay, so in week 6, you start with a summary writing review. You'll need that summary writing review in order to help you with your analysis writing, because of course you'll need to write a summary of reading number 2 in that essay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pages that are going to help you start to revise and plan your writing, okay? Outlining, this page right here, is going to help you with an outline. So we did our planner, right? We did our planner last week. You can actually take that planner now and start to outline and make sure that you have everything in CSET format. So you can use this. This is not a required assignment, but you can use this page in order to help you organize your ideas, because remember, in the analysis essay, you have a lot of information that you have to kind of pack in there in a very short amount of space. So an outline really does help. We'll be working on that in our critical analysis essay, or excuse me, our critical evaluation essay, which comes up later on in the semester. But right now, you can use this as a tool to really help you just get your ideas down on paper, make sure that they're in order, right, in CSET order, and then make sure that you have everything in there that you need for your analysis essay. Now, these 4 pages, academic word choice, using transition words, revising, and editing, this is all how you turn your writing from a rough draft into a final draft, okay? So if you've ever had a teacher tell you, oh, you know, your words are a little vague, or explain more, these pages help you to use those tools and to use that feedback and really understand what it means and how to apply that feedback to your writing, okay? So in our very first assignment, you will be actually revising your language section of your essay. Okay, so I would recommend watching the video. Make sure that you read the directions very, very carefully. Everything is linked here for you. And then, of course, there is a picture here to show you exactly what your page should look like. Okay. There's another picture down here to show you what the final draft of this assignment will be. Okay, so essentially what you're doing is you're taking your language drafts, you're looking at the feedback, then you're looking at the week 6 information here, and you are using these pages in order to revise, edit, add words, change words to that language section of your essay, okay? The way that I grade it, I do not grade whether you took my advice from the feedback. I don't grade that. I do grade how you used the course. So how did you use these pages and all of the directions here, all of these things right here, this is what I'm grading you on, okay? So it's your choice to apply the feedback or not, but you must do this in order to revise and edit, okay? Now, the next part of our schedule, so let's go back to our course schedule. We have nothing due on Sunday this week. But we have our progress check due on Wednesday, okay? So that means that gives me a little bit of time to look over your progress check, give excuse me, been fighting a sinus infection all week. So this gives me some time to give you some feedback, okay, until your analysis essay is due on Wednesday of week 7. So let's take a look at our progress check. For your progress check, you are writing your credibility section, so that's two paragraphs, and then creating your references page as well. Okay, so making sure that you have all of that set and ready to go. So you'll have 2 paragraphs for your credibility. You'll do 1 paragraph on the author's background, right? And 1 paragraph on worldview. All right, so what I'm going to do is in our announcement, I'm going to add a sheet for you that's going to help you learn worldview and figure out the author's worldview. So look for that in our announcement below. I might even be kind enough and add it here in the directions as we go on. Maybe I'll be nice. Okay, then you'll have your references page. So just on a separate page, all one document, right? But the references page should be its own header and its own page. You'll create your reference for reading number 2. Okay, what I would suggest is I found that a lot of you left off the the website, okay, in your APA reference for your summary and response essay. So if you go into what are my course readings, guys, the actual Google Doc for reading number 2 has the URL there, and of course the direct link also, you can copy and paste the URL there as well. So please make sure that you're using that effectively. That's something that I'll be looking for in your references page and in your final essay as well. Now, what are some helpful hints and helpful tools to help you get through these assignments? Well, the first thing that I would recommend is going into body paragraphs, right? So since you are writing 2 different CSET paragraphs, one on author's background, one on worldview, you have the CSET body paragraphs. Hi. You have the CSET body paragraphs right here that will give you your format to help you. The other thing that I would recommend is going into the APA resources here, and right in this area, there are step-by-step videos to help you create your references. Your in-text citations page also helps you create your references. And of course, you have your APA references guide that will help you as well. The final thing that I would take a look at is I would make sure that I use, the last 2 things. I would make sure that I use my planner. Okay, so any feedback from your planner from last week, make sure that you're looking at author's credibility and looking at worldview, looking at the feedback that you received. Were you on point? Did you need to add something? Did you need to change your word for worldview? Are you missing something as far as connecting the author's background to the author's worldview? So when you're looking at the worldview and your author's credibility, start with your planner, right? So always start with your planner. The other thing that I would recommend is going then back into author's credibility and worldview in week 5, okay? So if you need a refresher on what that is, or again, if your feedback said that you need to change something up, go back into your page, read it over, go through the want more, need more area if you need a little bit more help, or reach out to me if you're struggling with any of that, okay? So pretty straightforward week. We're learning to edit and revise. You're going to edit and revise your language draft according to the directions, and then you're writing your credibility, the 2 paragraphs under that credibility heading, and your references page, so that, guess what? By the end of Wednesday, when you wake up on Thursday morning, the only thing that you have left is the following. You have your introduction, your summary, your evidence paragraph, and your conclusion. That's it. So you are building and restructuring each time and getting feedback each time so that you get better and better and better, so that when you have your analysis essay due week 7, you're really good to go, guys. Okay, and that's how the class works. So all of this building happens so that your final product is awesome. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. So happy writing, everybody. Please reach out to me should you need any help. And I cannot, like I said, I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Good luck, everyone. Week 6.